Hey guys, it's me Marty and welcome to this week's edition of First Impression Fridays. So today I have not only a first impression product, but it's actually my first impression of the entire brand. I have my first ever Lorac palette. So I keep calling it Lorac. I've been hearing people say Lorac, so I'll just be fancy and say Lorac too. So this I got on the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. It retails at Ulta for $44. I got it half off, which made it $22. If you want to see what I think about this Lorac palette, how I use it to make this look, because I did use it to make this look today, you can just keep on watching. Thank you. Okay, y'all, so first things first, Lorac Los Angeles Pro Palette 3 came with a mini behind the scenes eye primer right here. So I'm going to use that to prime my eyes before I do my brows. And then I will be back to talk about this package. Well, I can't open it. Eye makeup, my brows are usually done first, but this came with a primer. And you know, even though most people don't, I like to prime my brows too, because I figure it'll just help the makeup last longer. So why not? So I'm gonna start off with the packaging before I even get into the primer. The packaging itself is gorgeous. Another time that I feel like you get what you pay for. Okay, I love the color of it. It kind of, just the box itself, because y'all know I always keep my boxes. It kind of reminds me of the Take Me on Vacation packaging, that brown khaki color. I like that. It just looks fun in summer and it looks relaxing. Okay, this is kind of weird to me, just a smidge. There's so much empty space in the box. Y'all see the box? So this is the palette and this is the primer. This is just like a big empty spot. So normally I keep the boxes. I probably won't keep this one because it's taking up so much space for a palette that's this big. The palette itself though is beautiful. I'm not using it yet, so I don't want to really get into this. I just want to talk about the outside box and the primer. So this is the outside box. It's just got Lorac. I'm going to keep saying Lorac. I don't know what my problem is. It's got the Lorac Los Angeles Pro Palette 3. Anyway, so it has your little ingredients here. Just like the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette and Too Faced and everybody else. It gives you an example of the colors, how they're laid out on the palette right here. So that's the box itself. I always keep my packages. I'm going to try to keep this one. Like I said, it's kind of hard because of the fact that it's so bulky when the palette is so tiny. Like this is the box, this is the palette. Oh, they also have, okay. They have two on the back, which I think is really, really cool. They have on the back how to use it. It says how to use, prime, highlight, shade, line, and define. Pro eyeshadows can be used wet or dry. I think isn't that the truth with all palettes now? Maybe not everybody, I don't know. And then on the side, they have two different looks, clay eye and amethyst eye. And it tells you step by step how to do it. I'm not gonna follow theirs, maybe on a tutorial Tuesday, but not today because I don't wanna mess with this palette too much. Okay, so back to use the Lorac behind the scenes eye primer, eyeshadow primer. So they gave a mini one. The packaging is really nice on this for a primer. I mean, like why are y'all going this hard for a primer? But I guess Lorac probably charges a pretty good amount for it. So maybe that's why the little sample, maybe that's why the little sample is so small and the packaging is so nice. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen this in an eye primer. So check this out. This is the primer itself. It's already shaped for your eye. I like that a lot. I might still have to blend it out, but I am gonna try to apply it like it is in here. Let me squeeze a little bit out just so we could see what we're talking about. Okay, so it's like, kind of the same color as the, whose primer is that? Smashbox, the 24-hour photo finish primer. So I don't know if it's as good as that one. That's usually my go-to, but since I had this palette to try today, I wanted to use their primer with it. So, you know, so let me squeeze a little bit out. I'm gonna apply it straight from the bottle. I like that. I don't know why more companies don't actually do that. Why more brands don't do that, because I like that I don't have to get it all over my hand. Like I can just apply it straight to my lid. And the only thing about that though is if you're like heavy-handed, I could see you wasting like almost a whole jar doing it like that instead of, you know, putting it on your finger and then moving it. Okay, cool. So I like the texture of the primer. It doesn't smell like anything. It's an eye primer, why would it? But I have to give them major props for that applicator because I have had many an eyeshadow primer in my time. I've never seen one that has that little slope on the applicator. Usually you have to put it on your finger and then put it on your eye. I like that I could apply it straight to my eye and then go back. I like that. Okay, people, so my brows are done, almost all Anastasia. This is the actual Lorac Pro Palette. This is Pro Palette 3. 2 I saw, but it was still full price, and y'all know me and full prices, we don't get along. So I do honestly feel I'm not familiar with Lorac like that much, but I can feel just having it in my hand and just looking at it, it looks more professional than most of my other palettes, I'd say. Like, it just, I feel like I see it backstage at a fashion show. I'm gonna go back and highlight it again later. So, oh my God, I like this palette already. So, okay, so the inside of the palette, y'all. So look at the inside of it. Just opening it up for the first time, it's got the Lorac paper. So that plastic paper that's usually just flick off, they put their name on it, and it's got this nice mirror. It says Lorac Pro, and I just really like it. The colors are very pretty. I don't want to get too much into them shade by shade yet. We will talk about them all together when I'm swatching it later on. So zoom in, it's like really, really close. So anyway, so y'all can follow me on this eye since it's close to the camera, and I'll do this one off camera. Okay, so just to set my primer, I'm going to go in with Blanc, which is right here. It's like a pretty matte white color. It's a little bit of kick up, but I mean, it's such a pretty white color. I'm gonna have to. So just taking the big Bogachet brush and just going from lash to brow with it. See, what are we doing for a transition shade? Can y'all guess that I'm looking dead at terracotta right here? Also, let me say again, packaging wise, I adore that they put the colors under the square, because again, I know not everyone is shooting videos and doing tutorials and all that, but like, it's just nice, especially like on the back of the box, how they gave you the step-by-step tutorials. I really like that. Y'all know I complain about that all the time, because anytime you're talking to somebody and saying this color or that color, you know, it's hard when you gotta flip it over and check the back, or it's just, this is a lot easier. Thank you, Lorac. I'm sitting here like, I cannot see in this mirror. Why is it so wavy, dummy? I left the little plastic thing on. Put it on. Oh, honey. Okay, so again, I'm going in terracotta for a transition color. I'm not gonna be able to use the mirror. Oh, it picks up a lot of product. I don't know if it gives off a lot of product or if this brush just picks up a lot of product, but it's certainly, there's a lot of product on the brush. So you're not supposed to pull your eye, I have to. Okay, so just like every other time, what I did was I took terracotta. I started at the corner of my eye, and I did whoosh whoosh all the way to the corner of my brow, which is what I always do that. I don't know why. Okay, very pretty. Okay, people, so for a crease color, I'm going in with this dark brown shade right here. Okay, so this palette, I can tell y'all right now, like, do not wear it while if you're already dressed, because it has a ton of fallout. But that's not a bad thing, because usually when it's soft enough to have a lot of fallout, it's usually pretty easy to blend. So I'm excited about that. And I'm just taking that and going halfway of the lid using this SL Miss Glam Angle Eye W20 brush. So again, just going up to the crease with it, stopping it right here at the middle. You know what? Let's do a wing today. I've been doing really simple eyeshadow lately, so let's go all out. Let's do a little wingy wing with this girl here. Because lately I feel like I've been doing a lot of safe makeup. Let's get a little crazy. So all I did to extend my crease, see right here, all I did was take the brush and just come out a little bit further. Basically, obviously, where you want your wing to stop. So if you want a big long whoosh wing, do your big long whoosh wing, girl. I'm not doing it, but you're welcome to try it. So got our crease done, got our transition color done. I know I'll hold off on the V from now on till the end, so I'm going to start lid work, which I'm excited about with this palette. SL Miss Glam brush again. It's the SL Miss Glam X Ipsy brush, and this is the L34 Blend Beauty brush. So I'm just using that to blend out my crease. I'm using it to blend out my crease and my transition shade. Again, this is the SL Miss Glam X Ipsy brush, and it is number L34 Blend Beauty. So easy to blend. It's a pricey palette, but I do think, honestly, using it so far, again, I have not used any of the shimmer shades. I'm about to start in a minute though. I used the Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil on my the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk on my lid, and then I just did some little markings with it, and then I'm going to go back with this cream eyeshadow brush from Shani, and I'm going to blend it out. Okay, yeah, so there you go. That is the lid. Now let's get to lid work, because I'm excited with this beautiful palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this one and this one to make a look. If you're in a very neutral glam mood, it reminds me of California. Don't know why. That's what it reminds me of. When I see this, I think of California. It reminds me of beachy, sandy California situation. So, okay, let's do Medallion on the outside. This one right here. Okay, yeah, so we'll do Medallion and then Almond Pearl on the inside. So Medallion, the glitters don't have as much kick up as the mattes, so that's good. Okay, guys, so for this look, again, I'm going in with Medallion, and I'm just going for like a nice, soft glam, natural, I'm just cute like this, naturally vibe. I mean, y'all, when you say pigment, Oh my God, so pretty. Oh, excuse my nails too. I dyed someone's hair last night and I have this real phobia for gloves. I hate wearing gloves. So, medallion. I mean, almond pearl next. This pretty pinkish glittery color. Like I would call it strawberry champagne, but almond pearl. Okay, almond pearl. This brush picks up a lot of product and it didn't pick up this much. So, almond pearl, and I'm just gonna go on the inner half of my lid. Ooh, Anastasia, you might have some competition now, la mama. I mean, so pretty and it's so pigmented. Okay, so to blend out my lid, I'm gonna go with this Farrah 35F brush, 35E. And now watch, I'm not gonna go too far with it. I'm literally just, cause you see how big it is? I don't want it to get all in my crease color and all in my transition shades. So what I'm gonna do is just go right where the two colors meet, and I'm just going back and forth, windshield wiper, no circles, just to blend it so that it has this pretty kind of gradient situation. For my V, again, I am planning to do a pretty thick wing, so I don't want to do black, but I think for this look today, I'm gonna actually use the same one I use as my crease color, the dark brown. So I'm using the Shani contouring eyeshadow brush that I think I've used it every time since I started this channel. So again, dark brown with that contouring eyeshadow brush. Now just look at the difference. Okay, this is my crease color, but look how much pigment that brush picked up. So I'm gonna go into the V here and just dot it. So since it's the same color as the transition, we won't have to work so hard to blend it because it's the same color. We're just gonna take a little bit of it off one of the pretty light blending brushes and just blend the whole look together. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use now a Glamour Dolls brush just to get that V nice and blended. Notice I'm not going super hard on the whole entire eye because I like the look that it made, where it's kind of where you can really see the lid, so I'm not gonna mess with that. So I'm going back with that INM heart. I again do not know how it's pronounced, so I just say INM heart. And I'm gonna go with light gold right here, this really pretty color, and I just kind of want to highlight my brows with it a little bit. I'm watching Big Little Lies, and this is what I'm gonna call a Monterey eye because it's so pretty. It's so simple. So I like rose bronze. Oh, dark mocha for the under eye look. And just going in with that Vasanti brush. Ooh, that dark mocha. Okay, guys, so I am back. I'm completely done. My makeup is finished. Liner is on. And my eye look. Talking about the Lorac Los Angeles Pro Palette 3. And the behind the scenes eye primer. So first, I want to talk about the primer before I get into the palette. The primer I really, really like because I usually shoot a bunch of different videos in one day. I did this look first. I did this eyeshadow first. And if you look, it has not budged. It has not smudged. Still where I put it. Everything, my eyeshadow stayed intact. Okay, so let's talk about the primer first before we even get into the palette because there's a lot to be said about the palette, but I want to talk about the primer first. Let me take it out of the box. Now, I said this earlier and I'm gonna say it again. I thought the box was weird because, again, all this space is empty. I guess it's to hold a primer, but I just feel like there's some other way that could have been done. So the packaging for me is a little bit, not mad at it, but I'm just saying it's just a little different. So the primer itself, let's talk about him first. How do I get him out of here? So the primer itself, this is the primer. So it's the behind the scenes primer. They gave it as a sample. I'm not sure how much it costs, but I am gonna find out because I really, really like it. Instead of what all eyeshadow primers have, just a little tube and you just squeeze it out, this has a slope where you can apply it directly to your eyelid. Now, I know that seems like something that shouldn't be that serious. However, guess what? So I personally, this primer, if I was completely out of primers, because I have like 6 right now, whatever. If I was completely out of primers, I'd buy this one again. It is so good. I can't really say enough good things about it. I love this primer. So now I'm gonna talk about the palette itself. So first, packaging wise, like I said earlier, this is probably the most professional looking palette that I personally own. Just the packaging itself is this nice matte finish. And the only thing it's like reflective, the Lorac and then Pro. Let's get into it first. Hold on, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So you guys just saw me do that right here on camera with no anything. I just did it. Look at that. Okay, so anyway, before I get too sidetracked on how beautiful my tear duct looks, probably one of the most, if not the single most professional looking palette I own. I think after this, Morphe looks really, really good. Too Faced has beautiful packaging, but it almost looks childish a lot of the time. Candy bar, chocolate this, blah, blah, blah. That purpose, I think this is the most professional looking palette I have. Now, I kept all the little papers after I used it just to show you guys. When you open it, the little plastic part that protects it says Lorac on it. Now, I have not had a single palette that I have purchased that did this. Lorac is the only one. And honestly, I thought it was expensive, clocking in at $44. I have palettes that are way more expensive than that. Not way more, but I think the top out price I probably have is probably $55. Yeah, probably 50 something dollars. Of course, I never pay that price, but that's how much it retails. So this one, I have to say, I would never buy it to try it had it not been on sale, but I would say 44 is not too much to pay for this palette. And 44 is a big number for me, of course. I mean, again, I paid 22 for it. So, you know, shop at your own risk. But I just think this is, I mean, it's such a good palette. It's so beautiful. So before I even get into that, though, I want to talk about the big mirror they have. Nice mirror, nice size mirror. This little thing, like the way they put the names on it, when I saw it online, it looked weird to me, but in person, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, if there's something I need to complain about with this palette, it's not that. They have the way the shades are as well. They put the name of the shade underneath each of the squares. If you're not doing a tutorial on YouTube, if you're not explaining to someone how to use it, it may not matter that much to you. Or if you're not following a tutorial, it may not matter that much to you. But if you're doing any of those things, having the names right there for you is like, it's a big deal. And then I also like that they took the time. Now, I'm not saying that anyone didn't. Like, I know Smashbox double exposure palette, they did that. But I really like that they did the mattes on one row and the shimmers on the other. Not everyone does that. I know it seems like it's a stupid thing, but I just don't like having, like, when I swatch, I usually do all the mattes and then all the shimmers. And then sometimes I know exactly what I'm going to do with the matte and what I'm going to do with the shimmer. I know my transition shade, my setting shade, as I call it, what you put over your primer, dotting your V, it moves back and forth. But crease color, all that I know is going to be matte. I am not going to ever do a transition color with a shimmer. I don't even know if anyone does that. I just don't see how it would work. But for my lid work, I like a good shimmer. So let me just close up to y'all real quick. I mean, y'all, I did this. It is now midnight. I did this at 7 o'clock. And it is still, I love this palette. I'm going to say that right off top. I love this palette. So I'm going to swatch it for y'all now. Again, I'm going to swatch the mattes on this arm and the shimmers on this arm. So there's 16 pans altogether, and they're pretty small squares, which honestly, there's not one shade in here that I would not use for some kind of look. I really don't think there's anything on here that I would never ever use. So I think them having little pans like that is cool because they're all shades that you're going to use. Like, there's been palettes that I swear I had for a month and I already hit pan on. But I mean, any smoky eye, well, I love the shades. Let's just get that out the way. So I have to do 9 shades on each arm. That's going to take a long time. So I'm going to speed it up for you. And I am also going to do them like 5 at a time like I usually do. Again, like I always show y'all how much I'm taking so that there's no, you know, I'm not trying to paint a house. We got Blanc, the white canvas. I have to darken this a little bit. I want y'all to be able to really see these shades because they are really gorgeous. Cool Taupe. You're not going to come up in here and embarrass me when I have this beautiful eyeshadow on. Cool Taupe. Oh, Pink Nude. That's pretty. Pink Nude and Clay. So, I mean, matte shades are not usually as strong as shimmer shades. These actually are showing up pretty good on camera. I didn't think they would, but they are. Terracotta, dark brown, jet black. So these are all of our matte shades. I love this palette so much. So let me say something too before I forget. These colors are so finely milled that they tend to produce a little bit of fallout. Again, to get these transitions and to get it to be this buttery and blendable, I will take fallout. I have no problem with that. It is just, I love it. So shimmer shades now, okay? Again, just so y'all can see, just back and forth. Ready? Light gold, almond pink, oh, almond pearl, sorry. Medallion, y'all. I used this on my eyes today. Medallion pearl, light pewter. I don't think I used that today, but I want to try it so bad. Look at that. They almost look like highlight shades. They're so pigmented. And then amethyst, and then we got rose bronze, dark mocha, truffle. So rose bronze, oh, dark mocha, ooh, truffle. So shimmers, mattes. So now it's that fateful time of the program where I decide if I'm giving this a diamond or not. Are you out of your mind? Of course I'm giving these a diamond. They are phenomenal. If you are doing anything where you just want a natural glam, it doesn't even have to be that natural, but a neutral glam, I should say, because this does not look natural. I did not wake up looking like this, but I mean, it is, and I wanted to do something a little extra, so I did a little wing liner and I stretched out my crease shade, but it's really, it's such a good palette. You don't have to do that much with it. Like, just like, honestly, my next trip, this one is coming in my bag, because I could actually especially while you're driving in a car. These colors are so pigmented, you could apply them with your finger. Like just one medallion, like in the middle of your eye, mascara, lip balm, tinted moisturizer, you good to go. I mean, the Lorac Pro Palette 3. I am obsessed with it. It definitely gets, if there was something higher than a diamond, it would get that. I mean, I had this thing in the drawer for a while because I just had so many other things to review. So this one has just kind of been sitting on chill. Baby, pop the cork. Not only to slay, she will slay you. She will bring you back from the dead. She will kill you again. I don't know, check out the corresponding blog below so that you can see where else you can get this palette and where's the best deal to get it, because I know I got the best deal in the 21 Days of Beauty. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.